Hey everyone, welcome back to another Elden Ring video. I hope that everybody is having an absolutely fantastic day, and I hope that you guys are enjoying playing Elden Ring as well. But in today's video, I want to show you guys my absurd build, which is the Shadow Lightning build. This thing is incredibly fun. Does it do the most amount of damage possible? No. These weapons aren't fully maxed out, and there's a few other things that I could easily do with them. But I'm having a lot of fun with this just because I can quickly get around the map, I can dodge enemies really quick, and it doesn't even matter what my loadout is because my main weapon is designed to completely just get me out of any situation really quickly as far as dashing. So I'm gonna kind of go over a little bit of everything regarding this build. I'm gonna show you guys where you can find some of the essentials and what you guys really need to be putting your attributes in if you really want to make this thing shine and work very well for you guys. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Now, I'm just going to keep on showing you guys some of the gameplay because I do show off pretty much a majority of my lightning spells. Hence, this is the Shadow Lightning build. That's what we're going after. So I do recommend that you guys have the Gravel Stone Seal, which is going to be located in the capital. You'll get that from there, and that's actually going to do any boosting to a lot of our lightning spells and a lot of the dragon cult incantations. And obviously when we're dealing with incantations, you want to start putting a lot of attributes into faith. So my build is kind of all over, but I would say for the most part that you're going to want to have a points into faith, dexterity, strength, and if you're going to be using the secondary weapon quite a bit, then I think that one requires intelligence. I don't use it very often, but the reason I do use it is I can use a shield with it, and I can equip my shield, I can hold the shield all the time, and I can actually stab. So I'm constantly blocking, but I can do like the little quick stabs until basically my stamina wears out, and it works absolutely fantastic. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the rest of the build right now for you guys. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about is my primary weapon, which is the Guardian's Keen Sword Spear, which is kind of a tongue twister, but I have it set to keen just because I have all physical damage, which, as you guys can see, I'm doing almost 560 total damage with this thing. It is ridiculously powerful. Obviously it scales to just dexterity, but you can kind of change however you really want this to set up. So if you really want this to be a more lightning, then you can definitely set that up the way that you want to by going to any of the grace sites or any like smither that will allow you to change it. Now, we are using the Bloodhound Step, so you can actually get these two items in the roughly the same spot. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map and show you guys where that can be found at. And that's going to be over in Caelid. Now, I use, for the most part, you can get these from the Guardians around the minor trees. Now, there are a couple minor trees that don't really have either a lot of Guardians, and this is the reason that I chose the Dragon Burrow area, just because there's a ton of Guardians right on this path. I mean, there's probably 15 of them that you can try to get the spear from, and that's the only way that you're going to get this thing to drop is in this area. And it is, if you do the keen, you can have a full dexterity weapon. So if you got like putting a ton of attributes into dexterity, then this thing is only going to improve that much better. So this is where I got it, and you can actually get the Bloodhound's Step from this bridge right here. You don't even have to fight the dragon. If you just run underneath the dragon from this grace site, you'll actually get that as you're running by. Just push the button to grab things as you're running by, grab it, and now you got it forever. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. Now for the next things, we're going to talk about the Death Ritual Spear, which is only a +6, and it does use the Somber Smithing Stone, so I don't have access to 7, 8, or 9 as of right now. Hopefully soon I'll be able to get them, but it's going to be a little bit because I'm not that far into the game and I'm doing pretty much everything I possibly can. And then it comes with the Spear Call Ritual, which you guys can see, which you saw at the very beginning of the gameplay at the beginning there. So this thing and my armor is going to be found really late game. So this is kind of a late game like build. But the reason that I really like my black knife armor, number one, it looks really cool. It's got decent stats on it as well, considering that is technically a more of a cloth, but there's a lot of armor base to it with metal that's like on, you know, the gauntlets and whatnot. So, and I really like it. I just love the way it looks. And the bonus, if you wear all 4 of the pieces, which you can find all 4 pieces together, you pick them all up at the exact same time, is you can run behind enemies and they will not hear you. So that means you no longer have to crouch anymore and you can run. The only way they will see you is if you come running right at them. That's the only time that you guys can see that, that they can see you, which is, or even hear you. They can never hear you. And that's what's really weird to get used to this outfit in general, or the armor, is because you yourself don't even hear your own footsteps. So it is like, oh, is my game on? Is it working properly? That's what I thought at first. So these 5 items are going to be found all in the mountaintop area, and technically the black knife armor is going to be found in the secret area. So let's go ahead and kind of show you guys that real quick. So if you head off into the mountaintops of the giants, you're going to get over into this area. And you need to get the secret lift in order to get the black knife. So let's just quickly talk about that. So once you get the medallions needed to operate the lift of Rolled, you're going to head up to Castle Soul, which is way up here. And then you're going to obtain 1/2 of the medallion from this location. And then the other half is actually going to be at the village of the Elbenerics. And you're going to find a pot with a guy that's inside of it. I'm sure there's lots of videos on that as well. And then once you get those medallions, you can actually head back to the Rift of Rolled, and you're going to head into the secret area, and you come up this town right here, and in the very back, this is kind of an archway, and there's going to be a portal at the top, but there's arches on the underside of it, and you can find the armor just sitting in there. And in this town, nobody's going to attack you. So the only things that's going to attack you is from where you first get into the hidden path all the way up to there, and then that's it. And actually, once you head up into this area, you can easily just run around the enemies, or you can just aggro them and then just keep running. It really doesn't matter. Now, as far as the spear goes, which is my poking spear that I can hold my shield at the same time, there's a death bird, and if you kill that death bird, it's like right in this area somewhere, maybe like right here, but somewhere right in this location as you're kind of heading down this cliffside to get into Castle Soul. It will attack you, and if you kill that bird, that's where you're going to get the spear that I'm using. And I'm using 2 spears, but the combinations between the 2 spears is the spear of the Guardians doesn't allow me to hold my shield because it has a swiping motion, and basically it kind of drops the shield and you can't block at the same time. I've tried a couple different spears, and there's a few spears that don't allow you to do that, but there are a couple spears, so you can use whatever spear that you want to be able to poke you. So in the really bad situations, that's when I pull out the shield, and that's when I pull out the death spear, and then that way I can easily block and kind of just do like poking damage in order to kill the enemy. All right, moving on from there, if we talk about the shield itself, that is, everybody should know about this, and we're just going to talk about it. The great shield that can be found just outside of the capital, just west of the outer wall phantom tree. So we have this location right here is where you're going to find it, and you're going to find 2 tree sentinels just chilling, and then you can kill both of them, or one at a time if you attack only the left one first. You can also ride on horseback and call in a spirit summons to help you in that battle. It really is not that difficult, and it's really close to a grace site, so if you do happen to die, you can just run right back there, collect your runes, and kind of start over, which is absolutely fantastic. All right, moving on from there, we have our 4 Talisman. Now, there is probably one other one that I would throw in here besides maybe even using Ragadan Seal, Spore Seal, because this one gives us a few attribute bonuses. It's like 4 different categories, so it's like a plus 20 just by using this, which is really nice that we can get that additional bonuses. And then you get health and a few other, and like load factor as well, so it's really nice for that. But once you get really high level and you don't really need to have this anymore, then I would drop this and put it on the lightning, because that is our our more prominent one anyway, is we're going more of a lightning build, and I'm using lightning spells all of the time. So if we can raise our lightning the attacks, just overall attack using the lightning spells and the incantations, then why not? That means just we're going to do a lot more damage. But I'm not really where I want to be quite yet. I would like to be 50 in like all the categories before I consider dropping the Source Seal, but that's just more of a personal preference. This thing can be found in Caelid, and it's going to be at the Fort Fartheth or whatever it's called. You can run past all the enemies. You're gonna go, it's pretty self-explanatory. You run in the front door, you go to a ladder, climb all the way up to the top of the roof, and then you're gonna jump down, go around the corner, and then you're gonna pick up this thing. It's gonna be behind. Now if you're gonna go and get this thing, I would have as little runes as possible, just because especially if you're lower level, you probably are gonna die. I got this right away at the beginning of the game, and that's how I got it, and I've been using it ever since, and I absolutely love the Source Seal. The Taker's Cameo, which is another one that I'm using, this one unfortunately doesn't come until a little bit later in the game. Now this one is a little bit more unique. This one does require you to go to the Volcano Manor, but you have to do 3 assassinations that are going to be provided by Lady Tanith. The first one is going to send you to Limgrave. The second one's going to send you to Altus Plateau. And then we got the third one is going to be in the Land of the Giants, which is really close to where the bird was at that I showed you. There's a shack just south of that bird location where it will show you. And what's really nice about the assassinations is it tells you exactly where to go. You can't miss it. So it shows you a red spot on your map. You go to it and you just kill the person that's there. It's not even a person, it's just an NPC. But once you kill that third person, your reward for killing that third person is this Taker's Cameo, and that's how you get that one. Now, as far as the Faithful Canvas Talisman, you're going to get this one from Celia's Crystal Tunnel in Caelid. A lot of the stuff that I've gotten that I find really valuable is actually from Caelid anyway, to be completely honest, but this is the one that you want to go to, Celia's Crystal Tunnel. It's going to be right towards the very beginning of the entire thing, so go ahead, you'll find it by it's like 2 or 3 praying creatures, and then you can just run past them, grab it, either let them kill you, run out, kill them, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter, just grab it and then get out of there. The next one on our list is going to be the Radagon icon, which is going to be found kind of in a like a hidden area of the Ray Lucardia Academy. Can be found in a chest on the 2nd floor of one of the main buildings that you enter. You just have to kind of traverse across a couple rooftops to get over into that area. There's a couple chests in that specific room. There's just one on each side. One of them you'll get the Radagon's icon from, which is going to shorten our casting spell, which we definitely want to, because the majority of our lightning spells can be interrupted, which sucks. So pretty much all of them can be interrupted, and we don't want that to happen. So if we can shorten that casting time to as little as possible, then that's tremendously going to help us out, especially when we're not using our shield and we don't really want to be interrupted. Now earlier I mentioned using the Lightning Scorpion charm, and I never did mention where this thing was at, but you can find it in the Altus Plateau, and you're going to find this at the Windham Catacombs. So right in this area, there is a Fog of War, basically an imp statue that you're going to have to go ahead and unseal. You're going to have to use a stone sword key in order to access it, but then it's just going to be located on a corpse. Grab it, and it's yours for the taking. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about 2 of the lightning spears. We have the regular lightning spear, and then we also have the frozen one. The regular lightning spear will be given to you from a prayer book that's from a knight just located in this area. It's not even that strong of a character, just south of the artist shack right here in Lernoria. And then you can go ahead and kill them, and you're going to get a prayer book, the Dragon Cult prayer book. You could take this back to the brother at the Round Table Hold, or go up to the Church of Vows and go ahead and learn that. You'll have to purchase it for that amount of runes, and then that's yours. Now the next one is going to be underground, and it's going to be a main boss fight, and that's going to be located right here at the Dragonkin Soldier of Slana, or whatever, Stella. Milk Stella or something like that. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably wrong on that, but whatever. Yeah, it's a main boss fight. Once you kill that boss, then you're gonna get that, and that's your reward for killing. The Fortisax Lightning Spear, unfortunately, is kind of a long story quest line to get to. You're gonna start with the quest line with Ronnie, and you basically just continue to go ahead and follow her entire quest line, and you're gonna get and be... I'm not gonna really tell you what happens, but you're gonna fight a dragon, and once you kill that dragon, you're gonna get a remembrance, and you can get this as an opportunity from that specific dragon. Now, as far as where that is located, it's actually going to be in the Death Root area, which is right here. And you're just going to go ahead and kind of work your way through this entire area. I haven't found the map yet, so I can't remember exactly where it's located. I think this is the last one right here. But once you beat that boss, then you can take it back to the Two Fingers and learn that remembrance, or purchase that remembrance spell if you so desire. It is really powerful, but its casting time is extremely long, and that's probably my main complaint about that one, but it is really powerful. And coming in for our last lightning spell, or last lightning incantation, is going to be the Lightning Strike. You could also use the Horn Bolt, but for this one we're going to go ahead and use the Lightning Strike, but this one does count too if you want to increase your Dragon Cult abilities using the Gravelstone Seal. And this one's going to be found down in the Weeping Peninsula area. It's going to be in this ravine area, and you're going to find it by a scarab. When you kill that teardrop scarab, and then you're going to get that incantation and learn that one. And that's pretty easy peasy to go ahead and get that one completed. But anyway, that is everything with this build. It is kind of a later game build, but I really went to the Mountaintops of the Giants. I saw that this image somewhere of this armor, and I thought it was one of the coolest armors ever. And I didn't even realize that the ability, the special ability for having all 4 pieces armed, was that you are silent and you basically become an assassin. That's why I labeled this as the Shadow Lightning build, and I think it's very fitting for this one, just because we're quiet, we're like a shadow, we even look like a shadow, and we cast a lot of lightning spells, which is absolutely amazing. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure that you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing, because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.